Welcome back to Hold and Modify, YouTube's most poorly produced, underproduced Amiga program. Thanks to Dr. Chris for that amazing Commodore chicken lips. And we are back here with, you guessed it, the A600. After going up and having a nice fun visit with Dr. Chris in person, it's time to go ahead and finish this sucker up.
This computer will rule the world.
So here we are, back with the Amiga 600, this beautiful, fun little machine. And yes, as Dr. Chris had pointed out so elegantly, it has this kind of dorky, old-school CF ribbon thingy here for the hard drive. It just kind of gets in the way and it flops around and it's really disgusting. So I went ahead over there and fired up the old Sword and website and got some toys from our good old Irish buddies over there. We got the relocator thingy here to basically just move that compact flash out of the way using this little fun adapter. I also got our cheap and easy 2 meg chip RAM upgrade that the Amiga 600 has. A lot of people, they give the Amiga 600, well, frankly, a lot of people give the Amiga 600 a lot of shit. And, it doesn't have a numeric. It costs a lot of money when it first came out. But if you're a retro Amiga collector, if you're out there now looking for stuff, the Amiga 600, it's kind of a best of both worlds situation here, because if you're into like creative apps like music and video and animation, 3D, it can do it, okay? It's not fast, but it can do it. Also, of course, it's a great games machine. It can play a ton of games. It comes with 1 meg of chip memory out of the box, and off you go. But one of the things it also has is this thing that I'm bouncing around in front of the camera this whole time, a very inexpensive way to get a full 2 megabytes of chip memory. It plugs in down here, and that way you can run all of your modern graphics software for the Amiga. You can run your old retro Amiga graphics software and just get all the resolutions that you need. It also has this amazing thing, as I've said before, it has PCMCA, which in this case is kind of like my little USB thumb drive, okay? I can easily transfer files between this and my Mac or PC, back and forth, no problems. I plug it in, I can hot swap it, no issues, always works, amazing. And yes, as you saw from my prior videos, I do have an A630 in here. So now I have a 50 megahertz 6803D ripping along. This will do great in gaming software. It'll do great with art software, 2D software, and yes, even 3D software. There are lots of 3D programs. Imagine Sculpt Animate 4D, I think even Cinema 4D had a version, even Lightwave has a version, Scenery Animator has a version without an FPU required. So even though this does not have an FPU, you can still use those softwares and do creative, awesome, fun things with this. So the 600 just lends itself to being a really fun all-around machine. Gaming box and a creative box all in here. So yeah, let's go ahead and get these final upgrades installed, and we can finally get this 600 buttoned up and who knows, never open it again? Sure. All right, so this simple little sucker just slides in here. Now, does it go in upside like this, or does it go upside down like this? I actually don't know. It does, in super, super tiny writing, it says this side down. There you go. Well, we're ensuring it's on there nice and crunchy. Go ahead and plug the mouse in. All right, so we've got that plugged in. Let's yank this out. Just rip it out of there. Don't even be careful. Just grab it and pull it like you're gonna just shred it apart. Yeah. Wow, that was on there really tight, actually. So the good news is I'll have another one of these little CF adapters just hanging out. Then we've got the new one here. We'll go ahead and slip that card in there. Let's go ahead and slip the card in there. Oh yeah. And we'll come down here, and it really only goes one way. Can you see that? Yeah, it's really way down there, isn't it? And they have a weirdness about them, these connectors. I don't like these connectors. They're very strange. But yes, you can see this is much neater, much cleaner. All right, so we've got our 1 megabyte chip RAM expansion for a full 2 megabytes of chip memory. We now have our hard drive mounted more officially and not floppily, because that's the floppy drive. The hard drive's not floppy. We have the A630 rocking out here. I'm sure in a couple years someone will come out with the same exact thing with an FPU and I'll be like, damn. But anyway, that's in there. Our RGB to HDMI is still kicking out the back there. Yes, Chris did remove the RF modulator, I could very easily just stick the RGB to HDMI inside the 600 right here and then just shove the cable out the back. Should I do that? I kind of like having it outside the case, but I do admit having that little ribbon cable flopping outside is a little, I don't know, that's a little something, isn't it? So I'm not comfortable putting this inside the case. There's no clear way to safely put it down. Like you would need some kind of, there's just exposed metal and things and contacts and potential shorts everywhere in here. So I'm just not comfortable putting this thing inside the case. I would need to do some kind of protective cover or some kind of dingus. So I'm just going to leave it outside the case. All right. Got that back on there. Close that back up. I don't have any of my clips. Got our RGB to HDMI just kind of hanging out back there. I know that freaks a lot of folks out, but you know what? It works. Okay, so now we have our hard drive mounted cleanly. Our 630 our RGB to HDMI is back on. The 600 has been freshly recapped by Chris Edwards, and we have our full 2 mega chip, supposedly. Let's flip the switch and see what happens. Nothing happens. Why? Because I didn't plug it in. All right, let's try that again. Let's flip the switch. Power light, low, high, good to go. Got our lovely little light over here, our fun, happy, look at it flickering. Oh, it's so happy the hard drive is flickering. Happy hard drive. And I probably should turn the monitor on. All right, so there we go. We are booted up. RGB to HDMI is working awesomely. Yes, we still have our 65 megs of memory, and yes, my mouse is still in desperate need of being clean because it sticks all over the place. So yes, clean input, and look at that. 2 megs of chip memory. Oh, baby. Love that. Hard drive working great, just as it should. Let's go ahead and do it anyway, just to be certain. Yeah, this mouse is really terrible. Need to clean this thing or figure it out. All right, so go in here, speed, bytes in a sec. Let's see, bytes in a sec, bytes in a sec. Show me the bytes in a sec, 1.2. That's about right for that crappy onboard IDE, but it's not crappy, right? Because it's free IDE, because it comes with the 600, yes! Free! And then we'll do one more speed check just to make sure nothing happened between here and wherever Dr. Chris lives, up there in the hinterlands. Yep, 10 MIPS, doing good, 68030, MMU in use. 51.8 megahertz. Woohoo! Look at that. Fun, fun, fun. Some of you folks will see things like data burst and copy back. Copy back to 68040 mode only. You can turn on and off data burst. I've never actually seen a difference with that on or off. Nothing substantial. There's the infamous chip RAM speed versus A600. Well, it's 1.16. We got a little bit of a bump there. We'll have a little bit of a bump, of course, over the 600 because of our 50 megahertz here. Plus, we have our 2 megs of chip and our fast memory. So there we go. This is it. The amazing A600 is now, I dare say, the amazing A600 is now complete. 2 megs of chip memory, a 50 megahertz 68030, 65 megabytes of memory, nice hard drive, IDE compact flash hard drive in there. We have our sweet PCMCA here. In fact, let me just plug this in for you. You can see how it just comes right up. So you plug that in, and you see right there, it just pops right up. Awesome. Is there anything on there? Oh, there's some stuff on here. What did I leave on here? No click. Ah, ha. Yes, no click. We all have to have no click, right? Although with no click running, you can still hear the drive click. It's just not as loud. And I have not really put anything else on here. But hey, this computer traveled almost 1,500 miles round trip. I did a giant journey up north from down here in my swamplands to go to the hinterlands north. And it survived the trip. And here it is. Check out Chris Edwards' video. Check out my old video. Check out this video. Thanks for watching. I'm done with this video. Oh, you can look in the description. Some of you guys forget that you got to look at the description for the video. That's where the links are. I know it's just easy to like thumb swipe past videos and then you're just like, what did he say? Oh yeah, I got to go back to his video and look in the description down there. Ah, there's a link. Click. Thank you.